Alright, so this definitely didn't go as planned. In Stranger Things Season 2, they introduced number 8, played by Linnea Berthenson. It's supposed to open up the world to all these new possibilities outside of Hawkins, Indiana, but it completely bombed. But why does the show want to work so hard to make you forget this even happened? Getting into this, the character of number 8 on Stranger Things, introduced in episode 7 of season 2, wasn't actually ever supposed to be part of the show beyond that one episode. And the reason is when Stranger Things season 1 came out in 2016, it was actually kind of a shock hit for Netflix because they didn't put that much money into it compared to other projects, but it did get a lot of views with 16 million people watching it the first month. To put in perspective how big 16 million viewers was for Netflix at the time, House of Cards was in the 4th season. It was Netflix's signature show, and it cost twice as much money as Stranger Things, but only got 5 million viewers the first month. So because it was so popular, the Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things, got asked by Netflix to do a spin-off series and actually come up with an idea for a backdoor pilot. What a backdoor pilot is when a popular TV show dedicates an entire episode to something that's normally very off topic from their actual main storyline to try and test the audience reaction for a spin-off show, and the biggest example of that is Arrow having a spin-off for The Flash in one of their episodes. A lot of really successful shows start as backdoor pilots like The Jeffersons, Mork and Mindy, and a lot of others, and even The Simpsons, which is now a multi-billion-dollar franchise, was technically a backdoor pilot starting on The Tracy Ullman Show. But there's also a lot of duds where basically people watch and they get really upset that their favorite TV show is being dedicated as a spin-off to something else, so there's a lot of duds like The Office having The Farm, Crash Nebula when it came to Fairly Odd Parents, and just a bunch of others like Kelly Kids and The Brady Bunch that all failed over the years. Yeah, that's what happened with Stranger Things. They had a backdoor pilot, but it ended up in the dud category. They were thinking of calling the spin-off show something like 8, but it really bombed where fans actually hated it despite loving season 2. The reason it didn't work was this right here. They didn't focus enough on actually building up number 8 as a character where she is a psychic like 11, she has all these powers, but instead they focused on her friend group, which a lot of people didn't like, thinking they look flat out ridiculous, where many people say Stranger Things really captures the 80s well, but they said these people just look like a parody of the 1980s. And then there was just another big problem that's they devoted an entire episode to 11 being the main character, where all the other episodes have a pretty even division of screen time, and it never really feels like there's a central main character. This was the episode that made it clear, oh, 11 is the main character of the show. It's not Finn Wolfhard, it's not Hop, it's 11 and Millie Bobby Brown, and a lot of people just didn't really care for that, and it distracted from everything else going on. Because of the negative reaction, they didn't do the spin-off show, but people really forget how much this actually impacted Stranger Things going forward, with one big example being Matthew Modine returning in season 4 of Stranger Things, because if they went by the original plan for the spin-off show, he probably would have never come back to Stranger Things because he was going to be the main villain for the spin-off show. And then there's also this right here. In season 1 of Stranger Things, they alluded to the idea there are going to be other psychic kids outside of 11, but then cut to season 4, we reveal they're all dead, actually. But then if they did the spin-off show idea, they were actually going to involve a lot of these kids being found by number 8 and actually having stories of their own. Yeah, it definitely impacted the story a lot, but honestly, I think if they just didn't make the entire episode an 11 episode and they still had the other stories going on, this would have worked and they would have done the spin-off. But with that, I'm Charles Prowl. Subscribe to learn something.